several things that you need to know if you're ever involved in an accident. Of course, we hope you're not, but if you are, there are some things, as I just mentioned, that you need to think about. And we have David Greene here from Greene & Phillips, and he's going to be talking about those things. The first involves insurance.
Well, that's right. Alabama law requires that you purchase insurance on your vehicle, period. You're supposed to have it. You're supposed to have liability coverage. It's Alabama law, and if you don't have it, you'll be cited for it. But what we're seeing, and it's happened since the law was enacted, is that people will make the first payment on their insurance, get their card, and then drive. Well, that creates a problem. If they get stopped, they can show it and say, well, gosh, I do have insurance, but they really don't. So the way to resolve that is very simple. Make sure that you do not waive your uninsured motorist on your own policy. Very inexpensive insurance, $20, $30 a year, doesn't cost you that much. It's really not worth the savings because you're protecting yourself. Do not waive your uninsured motorist. Ask your agent, make sure they understand that you're not going to waive it. Do not waive it. Because you never know when that person who hits you is not going to be carrying insurance. Now also you need to know when to call the police. That's right. And we tell people this every day. You call the police anytime there's damage to either car. If it's on a road, highway, interstate, you definitely call the police. If it's in a private drive or a private parking lot, they may not come, but I would still call them. Yeah. Very important to document what happened. The accident report, these officers are professionals. They know what they need. They know what you need. They're going to go down and get every detail of how it happened, the information on the other driver, your information. It's very valuable to have a report. And there are rules when it comes to moving your car as well. That's right. Alabama law, the rules are don't move your car. Right. There's some practical aspects to that. We were just talking about that offset, that you want to make sure that you don't move your car, but the important part is if you're in the middle of the roadway, middle of Airport Boulevard, middle of Highway 90, some other roadway, make sure that you just simply move over to the side. You don't want to create a hazard for some other driver to come in and hit you and then cause a really big crash. Right, and that's not going to hinder the investigation when the officer arrives? Absolutely not. If it's a minor fender bender, move your vehicle over. And that's something that we always advise people. It's just a practical aspect. The rules are you're not supposed to move it. Yeah. They're not going to cite you or not going to fine you or cause a problem. It's not going to cause a problem because you're being wise. Right. The founders of the law or the legislature intended a certain thing when they came up with that law, and that was to be able to recreate the accident. Well, just by moving it over to the side is not going to hinder that. Yeah. And also, you don't have to give a statement to the other driver's insurance company, right? That's exactly right. We all think, number one, we want to do the right thing. Yeah. And we're thinking, gosh, I didn't cause this wreck. This wasn't my fault. I'm going to be nice. Yes, I'm injured, but yeah, I'll talk to the other driver's insurance company. After all, they may pay for my property damage. They may pay me for my injuries. When in the reality of it is, they're trained to ask specific questions that can hurt your case. As a matter of fact, it can destroy your case. Yeah. So just be careful, and actually we always advise people, just don't give that statement. You don't have to do it. Call a lawyer, call Greene & Phillips, call any of the other attorneys in our area that handle these type of cases. They can advise you, and they can be present with you if you decide to give a statement. And you also wanted to mention police reports. That's right. Police reports, very valuable. Very, very valuable. You want to make sure that a police officer comes out to the scene and their report is actually done. It's so valuable to have that data. You've got to have it. Definitely. And the lawyers at Greene & Phillips are making things a little bit easier for you if you are involved in an accident because you guys now have an app. That's correct. We have a Greene & Phillips app that was developed specifically for car wrecks. It's for the Android phone as well as the iPhone. And you can download that from our site or from anywhere on the internet, and that will help walk you through the process of what you may need if you have an accident. Sounds great. So all of that information as well as information about that app is on our website. So make sure you check that out. Studio 10 tab on fox10tv.com. Thank you so much as always for joining us. Thanks for having me.